This is the alchemical symbol hidden not in books, but in blood passed down from soul to soul, only activated when one is finally ready to see. Do not be deceived by what they teach in modern chemistry. Alchemy is not, and has never been merely about turning lead into gold. That was the metaphor to keep the masses away. A veil. The true alchemists, those who walked barefoot across the sands of ancient Egypt, spoke not of metals, but of transmutation of the soul. Gold was the final vibration, the crown of the awakened, the state of being when all lower frequencies dissolve, fear, scarcity, ego. And here's the truth. No one has dared say aloud for centuries, if this secret has found its way to you now, you are being called. The seal has begun to glow, the process is already underway. But understand, not everyone survives the awakening. Some retreat, some lose their mind. Why? Because the great alchemists placed a warning at the door. Only those who have died before death may pass. Now breathe, gently, 3 times. In through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Again and again. As you do, listen for that strange vibration beneath silence, the one you've always heard but never noticed. That hum, that shimmer. It's not imagination, it's the memory of gold. It's you, remembering what you are. If you can hear it, you are ready. Type in the comments. The seal has awakened. Let the collective field resonate. This is not a chant. This is the vibration that cracked the walls of the inner temple. Ra is not just the sun, it is the frequency that remembers you. Anyone who has ever stood beneath the searing light of the Egyptian midday sun knows. It doesn't just warm you, it watches you. The ancient initiates whispered that the sun had a name, not just a symbol, and that name had a frequency, Ra. But no one ever told you how to say it. Because saying it, the right way, opens something that should not be opened casually. Ra, not spoken from the mouth, but from the solar plexus, is a sound that once formed galaxies. The great alchemists guarded it fiercely, not because it was too complicated, but because it was too simple, and like all divine things, its danger lies in misuse. You've heard New Age voices drone, "Ra, ra, ra," in monotone boredom. That's not the voice of Ra. That is static. That is theatre. The real Ra is breathless and alive. It starts low, in your gut, swells like a lion, awakening from the stone, then bursts from the heart. Try this with care. 1. Sit, back straight, barefoot if possible. 2. Close your eyes. 3. Place your right hand just below your ribs solar plexus. 4. Inhale slowly, and when the breath is full. 5. Sing from your diaphragm. Not sweet, not soft. Make it crack the room. You will feel one of 3 things: a fire building in your chest, a shiver in your spine, or a strange pressure in your forehead, like something ancient pressing against your third eye. Stop there. Don't repeat. Not yet. Just once is enough for now, because just once can start to fracture the illusions built around your energy field. Side effects may include vivid dreams tonight, memories you thought were gone, returning in symbols, a sense of being watched, not by something evil, but by something ancient that has finally noticed you. If that happens, do not be afraid. It's the resonance, the field, responding. Type in the comments. I have sung the name of R.A. Let the current ripple. This is not a mirror of glass, but of memory, a vibrational technology used by the ancient mystics to see the truth beneath reality. When you face it, it sees not your face, but your soul. They say that in the temples of Philae and the hidden chambers beneath the sands of Abydos, there were no mirrors, no polished bronze, no reflecting pools. Yet initiates emerged from the darkness, having seen everything, not with their eyes, but with the mirror that sees without eyes. What is it? A mental device? A symbol? Number? It is real, but it is not made of matter. It is a field, a frequency, and once your energy hums at the correct vibration, it reveals itself. Imagine standing in complete darkness. Then suddenly, a pulse, not of light, but of soundless awareness flashes through you. You do not see your face. You see your regrets. You see your desire. You see the child in you, who still cries behind your adult mask. And more terrifying than that, you see the mask itself crack. This is the mirror. It does not lie. It does not flatter. That is why the great alchemists warned, he who peers into the mirror before dissolving ego will be shattered. And yet, if you are ready, the mirror can unveil the pathway you were born to walk. Here is how to call the mirror. Do this only once, today. 1. Sit in total silence. 2. Make the room dim or close your eyes. 3. Breathe in 4 counts. Hold 4. Breathe out 4. 4. On the 7th breath, whisper silently in your mind, reveal only the truth of my soul. Then wait. You may feel a tug, like gravity moving inside your chest. You may see flickers of imagery in your mind, some joyful, some terrifying. This is your mirror tuning to your vibration. If nothing appears, it is still watching you. You are now marked. From this moment, mirrors will feel different. Some may fog. Your own reflection may unsettle you. These are signs of adjustment. One woman wrote to us saying, "The first time I did it, I sobbed for hours, but I didn't know why. It was like my soul had finally told the truth." And that is the beginning of alchemy. To transmute, we must first see what must be burned. If you've begun the mirror ritual, type, "The mirror has shown me my true form." Let your courage become a beacon for others. This is not ordinary breathing. This is the breath rhythm taught in the secret schools of Alexandria, whispered from mouth to ear, the way to unlock the energy gate that guards your transformation. Before every transformation, there is a breath. Not a casual inhale. Not the automatic rhythm that keeps your body alive. This is a breath with intention. A breath like a key, designed to open the door between dimensions. In the ancient mystery schools, not the ones in books, but the hidden ones beneath the Library of Alexandria, students were taught to breathe not for oxygen, but for activation, because there is a place in your body, a gate, located where the spine meets the base of the skull. It is called the Gate of the Serpent. Modern science calls it the medulla oblongata, but the ancients called it the mouth of God. Info. Here, when stimulated by vibration and conscious breath, something begins to stir a current, a golden thread, that climbs the spine like a sleeping snake ready to rise. The technique is simple, but precise. Do this slowly. Don't rush it. Just once is enough. 1. Sit upright or lie flat. 2. Close your eyes. 3. Tongue gently resting at the roof of your mouth. 4. Inhale slowly for 7 counts, imagining golden light entering through your tailbone. 5. Hold for 7 counts, focusing all awareness at the back of your neck, the gate. 6. Exhale slowly for 7 counts, letting the golden thread spiral up the spine. 7. At the end of the exhale, whisper mentally, "I am open." Repeat only once. You may feel a warmth rising, a tickle along the neck, a sudden image flashing behind closed eyes, or even tears, unexplainable, sacred. These are all signs of the portal opening. Some describe it as feeling like something ancient breathed back. Warning: if you feel lightheaded, stop immediately. You are not grounded. Drink water, touch the earth, come back. This breath is not a game. It awakens the serpent current, the kundalini, the uraeus, the divine fire that the pharaohs wore upon their foreheads, coiled and ready. Do not perform this before bed, unless you're ready for intense dream activity. Do not perform this in anger. Do not perform this to impress. Do it only when you feel the whisper of readiness. If you have performed the serpent breath, type, "The portal has opened within me." Let the field witness your initiation. This is the sacred scar no one talks about, the invisible fracture every true initiate carries. Before the power, before the vision, there is always the breaking. Do not envy the alchemist. They walk with light, yes. They transmute pain into gold, yes. But before that, they fall so deeply into darkness that even silence forgets them. There is no transformation without the wound. This is the law even the emerald tablet does not dare write plainly. Every true initiate of the ancient temples, whether in Egypt, Tibet, or the hidden caves of the Andes, was broken first. Not physically, but shattered in identity. Their name, their memories, even their sense of self had to burn. Why? Because if you carry your old ego into the chamber of transmutation, you poison the gold. And here's the secret. Most people who find this path already carry the wound. It may have come as betrayal, as the sudden death of a dream, as abandonment, as inexplicable sorrow that's followed you since childhood. And maybe, like me, you've wondered why you've always felt different, like something was torn from you long ago, and the world doesn't even notice the bleeding. That feeling? That is the alchemist's wound, a hidden mark, a sacred crack through which the light eventually enters. And here's the miracle. The wound is not your weakness. It is the entry point. The ancient alchemists whispered this teaching. Gold only comes when the furnace is hot enough to melt the false. So if you've been burnt, if you've been shattered, if your life feels like ash, then know this. You are close. So close. The fire has begun to recognize you. Now, here is the ritual. 1. Sit with your wound. Don't push it away. Don't try to fix it. Just witness. 2. Place your left hand over your heart. 3. Breathe deeply and say aloud or in your mind, I accept this wound as my doorway to alchemy. Then silence. No music, no distractions. Just you and that space inside you that hurts. If tears come, let them. If nothing happens, wait. The wound speaks in echoes, not noise. And when the time is right, you'll feel it not as pain, but as power. Because every scar is a map to where the treasure was buried. If you recognize your alchemist's wound, type, the wound is my gate. You are no longer broken. You are beginning. This is not a metaphor. Beneath the surface of the physical world hums a living frequency, one that the great alchemists learned to hear, ride, and shape. Everything vibrates. You've heard that before, maybe in passing, maybe in some watered-down spiritual quote. But if you've never truly felt it, then those were just words. Let me tell you what it's really like. There's a moment in the desert just before sunrise when the air stops moving. Everything becomes still. The sand is silent. The birds haven't dared speak. And then you feel it. A hum that isn't sound, but sensation. It doesn't come from your ears. It vibrates behind your ribs, like something is tuning you, like you are not a person but an instrument. This is the frequency beneath all things. The ancient alchemists didn't read it in scrolls. They felt it in temples designed with perfect harmonic geometry, in mantras chanted in a forgotten pitch, in the spaces between gongs and breath and heartbeat. It's everywhere. And once you learn to tune yourself to it, you no longer react to life. You shape it. Now, here's the first activation. It begins with a simple tone. flat. This was the secret note, sung by the priest initiates in the temples of Hathor, the goddess of sound, joy, and transformation. Why E? Because it matches the frequency of 432 Hz, the divine tuning fork of the universe. Modern science may scoff. Let them. You don't need to believe. You need to feel. Here's what to do. 1. Play a 432 Hz tone. You'll find it easily online. 2. Sit still, no distractions. 3. With each breath, let the sound enter you like light. Fira. Place your palms facing upward, like antennas. 5. As the tone fills the space, hum with it not from the mouth, but from your bones. If done correctly, you'll feel a loosening of tension you didn't know you held, a tingling around your temples or hands, a sudden clarity like your mind was rinsed in cool water. This isn't magic. It's physics forgotten. Sound is structure, frequency is form, and vibration is the true alchemy. When the great alchemists created change, they didn't use force. They sang it into being. Just one note, held in the right state, can alter your electromagnetic field, soften trauma, sharpen insight, awaken inner vision. Side effects? Yes. You may become emotionally sensitive for 24 hours. Certain foods may feel heavy or repulsive. You may dream in colors you don't have names for. Let it happen. Your field is tuning. If you've felt the frequency beneath all things, type, I am vibrating with the hidden sound. And know this: even one tone, one breath, one moment of true alignment can change the entire course of your life. This is the silent code embedded in your cells, a primordial tongue that does not speak in words, but in pulses, visions, and inner knowing. There are truths that no tongue can speak. Long before alphabets, before cuneiform, before the priests of Sumer etched their tablets, there was a language one not taught, but remembered. A language of vibration, of pattern, of energy knowing itself. The ancient alchemists called it Neymar, the voice that moves without sound. In Tibet, it is said the monks speak this language in dreams, not through symbols, but through direct transmission, a kind of mental alchemy that bypasses the rational mind entirely. The Egyptians used it in ritual. The Maya encoded it into the patterns of their temples. You don't read it, you feel it. And here's the secret the world forgot. You were born fluent. Still don't believe it. Remember the last time you walked into a room and knew something was wrong before a single word was spoken? Or when you met a stranger and your body whispered, I've known them before. That was the language before language speaking. We are trained from childhood to ignore it, to trust logic, evidence, spoken word. But alchemists, they train to restore the code. Here's how. This ritual is not verbal. It is visceral. You must be in silence. You must be alone. And you must be willing to witness what arises when the noise dies. The recollection ritual. 1. Sit comfortably. Breathe deeply 9 times. 2. Place your left hand on your navel, right hand over your heart. 3. Close your eyes. Imagine a circle of symbols spinning slowly above your head, not letters, not runes, but shapes you do not consciously recognize. 4. Whisper silently, I remember the voice before sound. 5. Then let go. Let whatever images come, come. You might see faces, places, hear tones. You might cry. You might feel foolish. Good. Foolishness is the veil before remembrance. One initiate wrote after her first attempt, I saw words made of light. I don't know what they meant, but my whole body knew they were true. This is not imagination. This is deep code activation. Side effects. You may speak unfamiliar syllables in dreams. Your handwriting may begin to change subtly. You may suddenly understand others before they speak. These are not tricks. They are signs that the original software, the ancient code, is rebooting. If you have heard the language before language, type, I remember the voice behind the voice. Let the others find your signal in the field. This is the force. No one speaks of the silent presence that tests you the moment your vibration begins to rise. If you don't face it, you don't pass. There is a moment on every path of transformation where the light becomes dangerous, where every new insight is followed by a shadow, where every step forward seems to wake up something that doesn't want you to continue. It isn't superstition. It isn't fear-mongering. It is law, because energy always resists change. The ancient alchemists knew this. They warned in hushed tones. Before the gate opens, the guardian comes. Not a monster, not a demon, but an echo of your own resistance concentrated into form. It appears in many ways. Sudden exhaustion before a breakthrough. Self-doubt so loud it drowns out your will. Chaos erupting in your life, arguments, accidents, distractions. This is not random. This is the guardian of the threshold. Its purpose? To test if your transformation is real. To ask, will you betray your awakening when pressure comes? Some initiates met this force as a face in dreams, a masked figure blocking a stairway. Others met it as crushing silence in meditation, where everything felt pointless. One student described it as a week of overwhelming rage, for no reason. Just as her third eye began to open, she nearly gave up. But then she remembered, this is not punishment. This is the guardian, and the only way past is through. Olev. So here is what you must do. When resistance appears, stop. Do not fight it. Do not suppress it. Instead, witness it fully. Then say aloud, even if your voice shakes, I see you, guardian, and I do not turn away. You may feel immediate discomfort. You may cry. You may laugh hysterically. You may want to shut this video off. But if you stay with it even just once, you pass. And here's the mystery. The Guardian is not your enemy. It is your final teacher, because once you face it, once you refuse to run, it dissolves. And behind it is not a monster, but a mirror, reflecting who you truly are now that the illusion has burned. Side effects after this confrontation. Sudden inner peace, as if chaos vanished overnight. Your external world may rearrange rapidly. New people, opportunities, or even loss. Dreams may become instructional ancient symbols, mentors, initiations. You have entered the final phase of alchemy. You are now dangerous to illusion. If you have faced the Guardian, type, "I did not turn away." Let others know they're not alone in the fire. This is the sacred fire the ancients called Aken, the eternal flame that does not consume but transmutes. To feel it is to know that you are no longer becoming, you are already. Asterisk. There is a fire, but it does not burn. It glows from the center of your being, like a quiet star that never went out. You were born with it. You forgot it. And now, it begins to stir. This is Aken, the flame of transmutation. The great alchemists called it the final fire, not because it destroys, but because it completes. It is not heat. It is not desire, nor effort, nor passion. It is stillness, alive. This fire does not consume wood or flesh. It consumes illusion. And once it rises, everything in you that is false, every belief, every limitation, every false identity begins to burn away. Not with violence, but like shadows dissolving under the morning sun. One monk in Ladakh once said, "When the fire awakened in me, I sat for hours without thought." It was not meditation, it was remembrance. He had become the flame. You are close. Here's how to awaken the fire that does not burn. Satu. Sit in darkness or dim light. 2. Place both palms over your solar plexus just above your navel. 3. Breathe in deeply, slowly. 4. On each exhale, whisper, Aken. Let the sound rise from your center, not your throat. Repeat 3 times only, then stop. Now listen, not with ears, but with your whole being. You may feel a warm buzzing in your gut, a flicker of heat rising through your spine, a stillness so vast it feels holy. That is the fire. And once you feel it, even faintly, it will never leave. You may forget it, you may doubt it, but it will remain waiting, glowing, reshaping you from the inside. Because transformation is not something you do, it is something you allow. Side effects of the fire. Loss of interest in meaningless tasks. Sudden urges to speak truth, even at personal cost. A radiant calm that others notice but cannot explain. You have begun to burn without flame. If you have felt the fire that does not burn, type, "I am glowing from within." Let this become a sacred flame across the field, each of us lighting the others. This is not ordinary quiet. This is the vast, echoing space the great alchemists entered when all techniques dissolved. When the chants end, the breath fades, and even the visions fall away. This is what remains. You've heard enough sounds. You've chanted sacred syllables. You've breathed like the temples taught. But the real teaching begins in the moment when all sound dies. Not emptiness. Silence. There's a difference. Emptiness feels hollow. Silence is alive. It is a being, a presence, a teacher so ancient that even the stars pause to listen. The great alchemists, when they had completed all rituals, would descend into chambers of absolute darkness. No sound, no movement, no light. Just silence. They called this phase the white void, the moment where everything you thought you were begins to unravel and something truer emerges. I will not lie to you. The silence will scare you at first, because in it, you will begin to hear your own mind roar, loud, repetitive. You will see your distractions clawing for attention. You will feel the weight of what you've avoided. And yet, if you stay, if you breathe, if you listen not with your ears, but with your soul, you will hear it. Not a voice, not a word, but a kind of knowing rising through your body, like a tide you didn't summon. One alchemist wrote, "The silence did not speak in language, it spoke in truth." Not mine. The truth. Here's how to begin the silence ritual. 1. Find a space where you will not be disturbed. 2. Turn off all music, phones, technology. 3. Sit in stillness, no posture required. 4. Close your eyes. 5. No mantra, no breath control, no visualization. 6. Just be. 7. Stay for 11 minutes. That's it. You'll feel the itch to move, the craving to do something. But if you can make it through those 11 minutes, the silence will meet you. And the moment it does, you'll feel something extraordinary. A sudden emotional release, joy or sadness, like a wave. A clarity that feels sacred. A deep, almost unbearable stillness, like the world paused to let you in. This is not the end of your alchemy. This is the beginning of your mastery. Because the one who can sit in the silence can speak the true vibration when the time comes. Side effects: less interest in noise, chaos, or stimulation, spontaneous insight or creative downloads, feeling watched not by danger, but by something divine. If you have entered the white void, type, "The silence has spoken to me." Let others know that beyond the noise, truth waits. This is the moment the alchemist becomes the gold, the final truth. There is no final truth. Only transformation, only return, only the infinite spiral inward. You made it, but not to the end. There is no end. There never was. The great alchemists, for all their power, their rituals, their mastery of elements and mind, left behind no final step, no grand declaration of arrival. Why? Because the alchemist never arrives. They become. They dissolve the idea of done, isn't it? They walk the spiral path where every ending is a return, every awakening the beginning of a deeper sleep waiting to be stirred. This is the circle that has no end. It is the Ouroboros, the serpent that eats its tail, the symbol etched in stone, burned into scrolls, whispered between initiates under stars. You are not here to find something. You are here to remember that you are it, that every breath you've taken in this ritual, every fire, every silence, every mirror, every sound, has not given you anything new. It has only peeled away the false. And what's left? The gold, not the metal, the frequency, that unchanging center within you, untouched by fear, age, doubt, pain. It was never broken. It only waited. And now that you've touched it even once, you'll never be the same. You may try to return to the old life, but the old life will not return to you. You will see the world differently. You'll feel lies before they're spoken. You'll hear energy where others hear words. You'll feel called not by duty, but by destiny. You are now part of the circle, not a cult, not a school, but a living vibration, shared by those few who've walked beyond the veil. And here is the final act. Do not keep this to yourself, not because we need your help, but because the field does. Every share, every whisper, every ripple of this energy expands the circle. Every like, every comment, every subscription is not a gesture of fandom. It is an energetic vote. It says, "I remember." It says, "I resonate with this frequency." It says, "Let others hear the call." So if this journey has awakened something in you, if the seal has cracked, if the fire has risen, if the guardian has bowed, then join the circle. Subscribe not to a channel, but to the frequency. Like not the video, but the vibration. Comment not for attention, but to confirm. The alchemy has begun within me. Together, we preserve what was never lost. Together, we keep the gold burning. Together, we walk the circle that has no end.